So as I mentioned before, today we are going to be looking at the cross-departmental collaboration, meaning there can be teams like, I'm just going to open this folder and show you the boards which I have. Okay. So let's say that you have 3 or 4 departments, right? And then there is a one board per department, 1 or 2 boards. Right now we are just looking at one board per department. So there is sales team, there is legal team, there is a finance and collection team, and then there is an actual project management team. So in today's use case, we will see how these teams can work with each other seamlessly so that our workflow is very smooth and automated. So there is no back and forth between these team members. All we are doing is in the Monday itself, we are managing these process. And of course, I have taken this particular example, but your use case can be different. But let's say if there are interdepartmental collaboration or communication, then you can use these tricks, or we can help you, of course, understanding more in your use case. This is the basic example we have taken, right? Because we just wanted to show you what Monday can do, and you should use these capabilities of Monday, right? Okay. So we do have this sales template. I just took this template from the template center, right? And similarly, we do have the legal and finance collection. All these templates, by the way, I have taken from the Monday template center. And if you don't know what is template center, is that here, if you add it, let's say you want to add a new board, which is an empty board, you can add it from here. But let's say you want to choose it from the template center, all you do is go here, and then you can add a template, and then you get the readily available template, which you can use it. So the idea is, so on this board, you're seeing these active deals and the closed one. So let's say that there is a deal comes into this board, and then you have the stages of to that deal, right? The discovery, proposal, then again you need a legal approval. Then also you need to know if it is approved or not by legal team. Then there is a negotiation, and then finally you won the lead or you lost it. And if you won the lead, then definitely there is invoice and payment, which will be taken care of finance, right? So basically we have something in the sales pipe. Then there is a process right now, which is, and I have just taken the example of legal review. There can be some other department which can be come into the picture, but I just took the example that something is in the process and you need some approval from other team. So then we do have that statuses here. So I'll be showing you how we are doing this. Okay, so let me show you the example, and then I will explain you what we have done in the background. So right now, let's say that there is a deal in this sales pipeline. Let me just make it big. Okay. So there's a deal, and then you're working on your sales team is working on the deal. Also, you have some contacts related to that deal, also the priority, and all these columns which were there on the template. I just took it, but for you, there can be different columns. But the important point we are going to show you here is how we can have that smooth cross-departmental collaboration, right? Yeah. So there are some stages to this deal, and depending on that, I'm doing my team is working on the deal, and they have some things to be done before basically they hit this one button, right? So let's say that it's in the proposal phase, and now basically you need the legal approval. So in this particular scenario, basically you want approval from the other team, right? So all we are doing is whenever that stage comes, you'll simply change the status to need legal approval. And I'm going to do that here. And then some things will happen because this is my trigger that I need a legal approval. And some things are going to happen, and I will be explaining you in the background also how we have done those things. So let me change the status to legal approval. The moment I do that, basically, there is the automation in the background which actually creates this deal into the legal board. So now if I open the legal board in the another tab, here, let's refresh this. Okay, you see now the same deal is created in now legal board, right? The trigger was, and this can be any trigger. It's not iron fast that you have to have the same lingo. It's just that it's purely trigger based, that you change some status, and then the item gets created in this board. And how we are doing that? Simple. We are using the item creation recipe. Let's see here. Yeah, you are very well aware with this item creation recipe and the connect board column, right? In my one of my last webinar, I took this use case of the connected board and the mirror column. So I'm using the same automation. If you recollect from that webinar, so whenever state changes to so and so, create an item in that particular board, and I also want the two-way connection, and with this basically the connection column. So the moment the trigger is there is a trigger, that is why my item got created here. And this is by default is happening. The legal team can get notified, there's a new request, and all these information also, depending on your use case, of course, all this information we are bringing it here, whichever we think that it's important for legal to know, right? For example, I'm also bringing, there was a specification file in the sales board here. So if you see deal number 2, I'm in the sales board. There was a file here which is important, and we need that file to be referred by legal team. So basically, this is just a mirror column. I am taking the mirror because we are connecting these two boards. If you recollect from my last webinar, we are connecting these two boards, and this is nothing but a mirror column of that specification file. Now legal team has access to this file. And this is just an example because I wanted to show you that we can very well have all the columns, because there is a connection, very well have all the columns mirrored here, right? So now the ball is in legal department court. So now they will work on their workflow, right? So they want to, let's say for some reason it is, so they have another workflow here. I'm not going to go into detail of this workflow. This is just a template I've taken, but the gist is whenever they will approve this, basically somehow, because sales department should know, right? Otherwise, without this automation, it's like sales department emails the legal team, then legal team works on that, and then again they email or use Teams messages, or maybe they can use conversation bubble, but it's not automated, right? So we want to automate it wherever required. Of course, we will use this conversation bubble, and we will use this like messaging, right? But definitely wherever it is important, it's a standardized process, right? You need that smooth working between two teams. So whenever they will change, now if you see, the trigger is here is whenever it is approved, basically sales department will automatically come to know that, okay, so now this is approved. And how this is happening is because we have again used the mirror column. So it's like a back and forth mirror column. This file we have brought it, it's a mirror from sales board. Similarly, because there's a two-way connection, we're going to take, already we have taken this status as a mirror column on sales board. So if you go here, so you see now I have this legal approval status, which is coming from the legal board. It's a, if you see here, and I'll show you, it's a mirror column from the legal board, and the column name is status. I just renamed here. So So for the better understanding that this is legal approval status. And now I will show you how this status can be mirrored. It's literally the actual meaning, like it's a mirrored column. So literally it will show whatever happens here, it will show me it there. So I'm going to say approved. Now, whenever this happens, of course, legal can have their own workflow. The item gets moved, right? But we are more interested in what happens on the sales board. So now, if you see, let's refresh this. You see now how this status got changed. We were just talking about this status over here, right? So how that got changed. So again, we have used another automation. So first thing, we just mirrored this column over here, and now it's showing me approved. But what we have used one more automation on top of this, that whenever my legal approval status is approved, automatically change this stage to legal approval. And I'm going to show you that automation here. Yeah, this one. This is not a custom automation. This is a inbuilt automation and this is the only automation which have access to mirror column. So yeah, so this is when this status changes to approved, change another status to so and so. So we've used this status here so that we want to create that automation, right? So anything happens here and our trigger is when this is approved, automatically change my stage to legal approved. So now my sales team will know that, hey, it's legally approved. And then I have something to be done with that particular lead, right? Because it's approved. And then there kicks the another workflow. Now, if you notice, sales team doesn't have to do any follow-up with legal team. They even if this was stuck, right? Even this status was stuck for some reason, it will show me my sales team on this board that it is stuck. Because basically if I click here, they can see all the statuses, what's happening, and then they are very well kept in the loop that, okay, this is what happening in the legal team. They don't have to check again and again. Of course, if there is a delay and they want to talk something, feel free, please use this conversation bubble and talk to them. But in terms of, you don't need to, because it's their workflow and it's their team, they are gonna definitely work on their document, and then they will approve it. But they don't have to. What if there's a delay in informing sales team that, hey, it is approved, right? But with this use case, whatever they are doing in their board, everything sales to team is kept in loop because they can see here. Okay, so that was sales to legal collaboration. We already saw it, how they want something, it went to legal, then legal did approved it, sales team came to know, and their stage got changed. Now we are also talking about finance and collection team. Now let's say that we want that. Now if you see here, now the next stage is basically the depending on the negotiation and things like that, they will either win or they will lose it, right? So now we have used, whenever the deal is won, the that deal, just like it got created in legal, it will get created in finance, and that's the use case. But of course, you can have different triggers. The triggers may not be similar for you, but we are just showing you the example, right? So we have used this trigger. Again, I'm going to show you how we have used it for finance team. Yeah. So this one, similar automation, just like legal. So you see, actually, I just duplicated. I didn't even build it from scratch. Once I have this first automation, I just duplicated from here. And then I just change these parameters, like the stage changes and the boards and things like that. So now this one reads as, when stage changes to 1, create an item in finance and collection board, connect this. This will automatically, if there is a no connection column, all of you know that it will, Monday will automatically create it, right? When you click this, and then and of course, important step here is you have to connect both the boards, right? Because we want that two-way connection, right? um, yeah, and then this will be the connection column. We have built this automation now for finance. So now let's see how it is done. So now again, I'm gonna run this deal. As soon as it runs, the deal will move here, but at the same time, the item will be created in finance and collection board, which I'm gonna close this board and open my finance and collection board now. Okay, so now you see this board was empty, of course, but now we have deal name 2 here, or invoice. So this is now finance workflow. They have some automations here. Automatically, it is invoice sent, not sent because item is created. So these are like a by default value, not sent, not collected. Also the deal, according to the automations and the workflow here, there are some deals, the dates is getting created. Also, some of the information is by default getting created, right? We also have the file column coming here also, and this is the connection, definitely connection column. Okay, so now again, finance will they do their job, right? They will either it's stuck, right? We have all these similar to legal. Now we have all these two columns are because these two are important, right? Invoice send, because sales should know what is happening. Are they receiving money, right? So invoice send, and of course it depends on your use case too. We've just taken that sales should know invoice is sent, or it is, because this is like a collection, right? Collected money or not. So now these two, both these columns are mirrored here. Let me make it big. Just like legal, now we have this. As soon as you build that automation, this connection will be created, and of course you'll have to create this mirror columns. You have to create it manually. All you have to do is just go here. Once it is, the connection is created, all you have to do is bring the mirror column, and it will ask you, because now there are several connections, right? Connection columns. So it will ask you which connection column, and it will show me all the connection columns. So now this time I want to choose finance and collection. I'm just showing the example how I brought these columns here. So finance and collection, and now it will show me all the columns, but I'm interested only in invoice and sent and the collection status. So I just chose like this. So you see, now I chose this. This is nothing but the invoice sent. And by default, it will be mirror. The name will be mirror, and I change it to invoice sent. And similar process for this too. Right? I'm just going to delete it because I just wanted to show you how I built this mirror column. Okay, so from finance and collection, we are bringing invoice sent and collection sent, collection status. Right now, again, invoice sent is just for knowledge sake that, okay, they have sent the invoice, but sales team is actually interested in the money is collected or not, because that there comes our next workflow, which is a client and project, where the actual project starts, right? Like working on the project, and this organization follows in such a way that when they receive the money, I mean they have received collected the invoice, then only they start working on the project. That's their use case, but yours can be different. But we just wanted to show you this example. Now, as soon as okay, so I'm on now deal 2 here. It's still showing me in not sent and not collected. Now assume that I'm a finance person, and I said, let's say that it's stuck. Okay, it's stuck. Then they will also come to know, sales team will come to know it is stuck. whatever is happening here, it's like a mirror, actually mirror column. Then I finally say, okay, invoice sent, sales team is happy, the invoice is sent. And by the way, we can also have the notifications, right? Whenever the invoice sent, inform the sales team, all those things also we can have, but I don't think we need that automate notification, because you can see it here. If I refresh it, it will show me that invoice is sent. Okay. Oh, sorry. That was, yeah. So sorry, I was looking at the wrong deal. We are talking about actually the deal name too. Yeah. So invoice is sent now, and now same deal here. Actually, I am now change it to, so this is not collected, right? So now they as soon as they receive the collection, they are gonna say collected, right? The sales team will also get to know this one. So deal name 2 collected, and now there starts our next workflow, because what I have in my automation, that whenever the status changes to collected, my mirrors, this stage also changes to collection received. And then when this happens, basically, so I use the same automation that change another status. Whenever this is mirror column, collection status changes to collected, change stage, which is a sales board column, right? Stage, if you remember, stage to collection received. And now similarly, I have one more automation on the top of that, that whenever my stage changes to collection received, create an item in the client projects, and the same, we are connecting these two boards with the client project. So now finance job is over. I'm just going to close that, and I'm going to open the next department, which is actual project management department in my site tab. So now you see how my deal 2 came here. See, deal name 2 project. Now, when I was bringing it, that deal name 2, I also have the ability to add some, like I just added a project here because it's a project, right? It's a project board. How I did that? Let's go back. So you have the ability, whenever you're creating that item in the another board, you have the ability to take this name also, actually some of any column name you can take into, and you can concatenate that. How you can do that? Let me show you. So I'm going to look for the client one, because I wanted to show you how you can have, like how you can come up with another name. It's not like you just have to take that deal name. So so if you know, right, the item, you'll have to match that item, right? Map that item. So these are the left hand side is always on the destination board, and these are your, basically you're mapping these two items. So whenever that is collection status changes to collected, I need that item name to be created, item name project to be created on the project board. So I took that name. In Monday, name is nothing but the item name. Technically, in the background, they use that name is equal to item name, by the way. So I just added here a project, right? I just typed here project. You can have two parameters. I was telling you, if there is another key information, let's say that you want to have that, right? Let's say that you don't want to create a project by deal name, because deal name is nothing but company, or some abrupt name also you can have, right? So then maybe what you can do is you can have the actual project name column just like this. Or of course, you can change the name on the client board too, but I just wanted to show you how you can take another parameters also in the consideration. So now, because I added a project name column, and now if I'm going back to my automation here, so now I do have the, now, yeah. So now my left hand side remains same because this is a destination board, but my source board is here. So I just took this name, but now I do have this project name too. So if I'm sure that, okay, I do, because before changing that status, I have to have this project name in place. Otherwise it will be empty, right? So now let's say that, or you can come up with these like name, project name, and project. Okay. And yeah. So now next time actually I can do that actually here. Let's say this, I do have some one deals. So let me see. Collection received. Okay. So now, oh, but I did not put, you see, I forgot to put the project name. So now nothing will appear here. See, now in the client board again. Now let's try again. Good. If the mistake happens during the demo, then people will understand it nicely. Okay, so now I have to have project name before. Okay. .com, my project name. Okay, and now let's see that I am changing the status to collection receipt, which is our trigger to create that project in client project board. So now you see very smoothly within a fraction of second. So now that's how we built our item name, right? Deal name, then that actual project name, and then our string, which we just wrote there, project. And so you have the ability to have choose whichever nomenclature here, depending on your requirement. And then there starts the client project management workflow. So, and then this is a connection item, a connection column here. And I believe that once the project starts, a sales team, because that's their job is over, right? Deal is one, it started, they have collected, actually when they collect the money, that time only everything is done. So definitely we have not taken anything mirror from here, but we can, if there is a need, and if there is a, let's say they want to know the project is in what phase, analysis or creation or review, we can, just like previous one, we can also mirror all these columns here, because important thing is, we do have this connection, right? When you have this connection, we can have n number of mirror column. We can bring actually all the columns from your destination board to the source board, right? All you have to do is just add a column from here. Mirror. And then it will ask you which connection you want to use, client project, and then it will ask you, right now there's nothing is selected, so you can't see here, but then it will ask you what you want to connect. Not started. So, and as and when they are progressing here, done, it will be shown here. You can also rename this board. Yeah,